What it is, do? It's your boy Krook, LDB Team 100. We in here, sure. That was a little crackly. Oh my god, I ain't mean to do that. But what's going on with y'all, man? How y'all feeling today? I hope y'all day is good. I hope everything is smooth sailing, man. Listen, before the video start, first and foremost, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for pressing play, for tuning in to the content. If you like these videos that I am providing, man, be sure to give a video a thumbs up. You feel what I'm saying? YouTube links the algorithm for likes. The more likes, the more this video gets out to the masses and things of that nature. And we as a community can grow. You click this video. When you click this video, I want you to know that you're a part of this community. You feel what I'm saying? You are the reason why my video is getting to the masses. Every play, every like, every comment gets my video noticed. And thank you. I appreciate that. So welcome a part of LDB Team 100. You feel what I'm saying? Listen, you are a big reason why we are here today. And we are going strong. And we are hitting close to that 500 subscriber mark. So let's keep it going, guys. Thank you. And yeah, so today's video is going to be why the GOAT debate needs to end now. I ain't gonna lie, y'all going crazy over this this Jordan and LeBron debate. Whatever the case may be. Like, yo, the comment section is going crazy. This was an old video that one of my that a person told me to watch. Somebody in the comment section, but I can't remember who. So I'm just go ahead and react to it anyway. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
This is a Bulls channel since I'm a diehard Bulls fan, but with it being the offseason for the Bulls, I want to keep putting out content that is relevant, and obviously I also like talking about what else is going on in the NBA. However, in this one, I will still tie this back to the Bulls because it pertains to Michael Jordan and why the debate for who is the greatest of all time needs to end now. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Bull Central here. Hope you're all doing well. Guys, I was planning on uploading my mailbag video today, and I've actually already got it all prepared and put together and ready to go, but with the Lakers losing to the Suns last night and getting eliminated from the playoffs in the first round, I really wanted to discuss this as it was top of my mind, and I'll likely put out my mailbag video either later today or tomorrow. But in any event, I'm sure most of you saw that the LA Lakers, the defending champs, were eliminated from the postseason on their home court in Game 6. And although they did make a bit of a run in the second half to make the game somewhat respectable, they really weren't in this game from the get-go. The Suns took a massive lead to start the game, and the Lakers were never really able to get back into it. Now, of course, Anthony Davis, their star big man, did not play in Game 5 due to injury and tried to come back in last night's game in an elimination game, but quickly re-injured himself in the first 5 minutes of play. Now, there's a debate on
and I think this is like a relatively old kind of video.
Clearly did not look like himself from the jump, but we'll have to save that for another.
Yeah, this video was from last month, so it's a little bit old.
In this ever-long debate of LeBron James now being the greatest player of all time, given his accolades, his accomplishments, his statistics, his longevity, all of that, yes, there is a valid case for him to be the greatest player to ever play the game. But, and yes, it is a big but,
and again, real quick, a lot of you people are saying that I'm rooting for LeBron. I'm not rooting for LeBron. When it comes to this debate, the stats are the stats. The storyline is the storyline. But what I'm saying is, I'm giving credit to LeBron as well. I'm not going to come if this is a two-headed debate, and if it's one and if it's the other, you're going to have to weigh out the pros and you have to weigh out the cons. Also, the thing is, with LeBron still playing and still active and is looking like he possibly will play at least 2 more seasons, because the narrative that I'm hearing from everyone is that he's going to stay in the league long enough until his son hits the NBA. He's going to structure his contract to where as though he's going to play with Bronny for at least 1 season just so we can show him the ropes, teach him how it's done, and then he's out. That's what I'm hearing from everybody. So I'm not for LeBron. I'm giving him still his props, and because he's active, I'm also taking into the account of the stuff that he's still doing while he's active. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, LeBron, this is about to be his, 18th season? He's played longer than Jordan, realistically. So I still have to, and which is also why you can't compare it, because it's still going on. We already have Jordan's body of work. We're still trying to figure out LeBron's body of work. And for the most part, his body of work is almost complete. Again, he might play a good 2 more seasons and he's done. So we still, and then also with the addition of Russell Westbrook, that might change the narrative of LeBron James' career. So no, I am not for LeBron. I'm not. But I am going to give LeBron his props, bro. He's done some things that Jordan has not done. He's been to 9 straight finals. He's won 3 different titles with 3 different teams. So even though, yes, Jordan is Jordan, again, LeBron did some things that Jordan didn't do now. So let's not make this like, okay, no, I'm not for LeBron, but I'm going to give him his props because there's some things that he did that Jordan didn't do, regardless on who's better or not. There's still some accomplishments that Jordan did that LeBron will never surpass. LeBron has a couple accomplishments that Jordan will never surpass. So we have to be fair. We have to weigh it out. You know what I'm saying? So no, I am not for LeBron. I am not team LeBron. I just give props where props is due, and I'm putting things into the equation. You feel what I'm saying? Now, regardless on how people might feel about those accomplishments, those are accomplishments. You cannot take that away from LeBron. You can't. Same thing you can't take away from Jordan. People might argue that Wilt was the best player of all time. People might think that George Russell, I say George Russell, damn. People might think that Bill Russell, I call him George Russell, Bill Russell is the best player of all time. He has 11 rings. So, I mean, it's just like, yeah.
Is something about LeBron James that has been really greatly bothering me recently, and really it's been going on for a while now, and I think it's just finally started to boil over for me. But it's been bothering me to a point where I can no longer consider this GOAT debate to even be had anymore, among other things which I'll get into in a little bit. And that's because the excuses at which LeBron plays with and uses whenever he does not succeed. And guys, I do want to add, I am a LeBron James fan. I know it may surprise you to hear that, and it's probably not going to come across that way when I conclude this video, but as a Bulls fan, and I know Bulls fans can't stand the guy, but I've said this before, I have great respect for LeBron James and his game. He is one of the most talented players to ever play the game of basketball. His longevity is unmatched. I mean, the fact that he's still playing at a superstar level, being in his 17th season in the league, with the mileage he has on his belt, is absolutely incredible. And of course, LeBron, unlike some other stars in the league, he makes his teammates better. So for any LeBron fans who happen to stumble upon this video and immediately give it a dislike and label me a LeBron hater, I am actually a fan of LeBron. It's hard not to when you...
Just because you disagree with something, that don't mean that...
But here is what I take issue with. And it kind of...
And that's another thing too. Just because you disagree with somebody, that doesn't mean you're a hater. You just have different opinions, different views. That's what makes us human. Just because I think a certain way about LeBron, that don't mean that I'm for LeBron. I'm just that's just my opinion. That's how I feel.
Dominated in last night's game. LeBron, as great as he is, when he comes up short, whether it be in the playoffs, the finals, or hell, even a regular season game, he rarely takes the blame. More often than not, there is always another factor at play in why he didn't succeed. Whether it's blaming his teammates, whether it's him not being 100% healthy, whether it's complaining about the refs, which, my God, how many times is he going to whine to the refs whenever a foul doesn't get called in his way? And when things don't go his way, he gets frustrated and he stops competing. Last night, as an example, there was a point in the fourth quarter where he thought he was fouled and driving to the basket, and it wasn't called, and he sat there arguing with the ref and didn't even make it to the other side of the court, continuing to argue with the refs, and the Suns scored on the other end. LeBron, of course, walked off the court early in last night's loss, which is not a good look and not a really showing a sign of class for him. And guys, above all, the reason for losing the series, no Anthony Davis. Well, LeBron, I hate to break it to you, but if you want to be considered the greatest of all time, these are the moments in which you show up. These are the moments where you lead your team to victory despite not having your number 2. These are the moments where you're not looking for excuses, the moments where you're not complaining to the refs and just playing the game of basketball at the highest level possible, having that killer instinct and obsession with winning no matter the circumstance. That's the difference between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. MJ never looked for excuses. MJ never blamed the officiating. MJ never blamed his teammates. He never really had all those theatrics of flopping and flailing on the court, or the nonsense heroics of claiming he was seeing 3 rims out there after getting poked in the eye, but was battling through to try to win the game. No, MJ was the ultimate competitor. He had that killer instinct. And if he didn't, he didn't need excuses for his play, and he took the blame when he wasn't able to succeed. And of course, Michael Jordan never had these ridiculous theatrics that I feel like we see from LeBron now more than ever, which I'll get into in a little bit. And guys, I don't want, me saying this to take away from all the great things that LeBron has been able to achieve, because in my eyes, he clearly is the second greatest player to ever play the game. And that title that he had and he won in 2016 with the Cavs against the 73-9 Warriors was an incredible feat. LeBron has 4 titles to his name, and of course, when you look at the majority of his numbers, they are unmatched compared to most players in the history of the NBA. But guys, when people are talking about LeBron being the greatest player of all time, how can you compare him to MJ, who closed out his career, well, with the exception of that stint that he had with the Wizards, but a guy who closed out his career in the last 6 seasons of his time in the Bulls, all going to the finals and winning all of them. Yes, MJ early on in his career, sure, he struggled to get it, past the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. He even struggled to get out of the first round very early in his career. But when he finally did get over that hump in 1991 and beat the Pistons handily in a sweep, he never looked back. He didn't even, need the theatrics to get him there. He didn't need to jump from one team to the next to find whatever basketball situation suited him best. He didn't need coaches to get fired until they found the right one. He was locked in for every game because he wanted to win, and he wanted it more than anyone else on the court. And you just don't see that from LeBron all the time. Look, LeBron as an all-around player is probably better than Michael Jordan talent-wise. He's a more skilled passer, rebounder, shot blocker. He's obviously bigger, and of course his physique and strength in getting to the hoop, powering through the lane like a freight train, makes him an absolute freak of nature. But what separates him from Michael Jordan is he doesn't have that killer instinct all of the time. I'm not saying LeBron doesn't have the killer instinct ever, but he doesn't possess it in the way that MJ did every single game, especially in the postseason. You didn't see MJ flopping or flailing, looking to get a call to get bailed out the easy way. No, he played hard-nosed basketball and never looked for an easy way out. And guys, I don't know what has been going on with LeBron and all of his flopping. I know it's been something he's been doing for a good portion of his career, but lately it has just been getting out of control. Or the theatrics of him rolling on the ground and in pain as
if you guys didn't know,
badly, but then gets up and
the league implemented a rule to stop flopping. I got to do my research on it. I haven't looked it up, but I did see that that they implemented a way for people to not only flop, but to intentionally draw a foul. Because nowadays in the NBA, of course, you can't touch nobody. So what you start to see is players like James Harden, players like LeBron, players like Kyrie, players like them. They try to create, or like Damian Lillard, they try to create that contact. So if I'm up at the top of the key and I'm about to shoot it, but initially I'm pump faking, but I can get you to jump, and I jump, I'm going to intentionally dive into you and attempt to act like I'm shooting the ball, and that's called a foul. I guess they're going to try to modify that to where as though, even though I bit you on a pump fake, regardless because I bit, if I'm forcing myself onto you to create that contact, they're not going to call that a foul now. So that is going to change. So you're going to start to see a little bit of changes.
Plays through it as if it's some heroic feat. It's almost like he wants somehow to add to his legacy of games where he was so badly hurt but played through it, like you've seen from some other greats in the past, or maybe even like Jordan in the flu game. I just feel like, LeBron is trying so hard to cement himself as the greatest player of all time. He wants so badly that now he's putting on all of these antics and shenanigans and blaming others when things don't go his way. It's really all been damaging his legacy, in my opinion, more than anything. Just play the game of basketball, come in with that killer instinct, no matter the circumstances, no matter the calls on the court, no matter who is injured and who isn't, and play the way Jordan did, like you wanted to win more than anyone else on the court, rather than looking for some sort of validation and an easy way out to win championships, like going to the Miami Heat to form a super team, coming back to Cleveland because it was a better basketball situation where, he made the move and then claimed that he was moving there because it was bigger than basketball, and then leaving Cleveland when it was clear the team wasn't going to win anymore, coming to LA and did everything in his power to have the franchise turn their future upside down to get Anthony Davis. So I know this was a bit of a rant, and at the end of the day, I still think LeBron James is an incredible player, a future Hall of Famer, a generational talent. He's the second greatest player of all time. I've been fortunate enough to have lived in a time where I got to see both him and Michael Jordan play, both iconic figures in the game of basketball, but the GOAT debate needs to cease. It might have been different had LeBron James won the championship this season in a back-to-back run, but after getting eliminated in the first round, when you compound that with all the theatrics and excuses that we've seen lately in his career, something we never saw from Jordan, I think it's safe to put the debate to rest. Let me know what you guys think, though. Do you think the GOAT debate is done? Or maybe you thought that it was never really an argument for LeBron to be the GOAT from the get-go? Or do you think the greatest of all time debate still hasn't concluded yet, since LeBron's career obviously isn't over? Let me know in the comments, and guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Man, listen, real quick before I end the video, it's two things that I want to leave you with, right? Again, in my last video, when I talked about the Jordan and LeBron comparison, I said that you can't compare eras because there are two different styles of play. Regardless of what we say, it's two different styles of play. And yes, no matter how much numbers you can crunch up, no matter how many averages that you can do, this is just conversation, bro. This is just a debate for the barbershops. This is a debate for YouTube channels, for social media, things of that nature. Conversations like this on who's the best is needed in sports. It's needed because basketball is such an opinionated sport. There's no judges. There isn't no one that tells you how to play basketball. The only thing you can do is define your game, define who you are and why you're playing basketball, and then therefore cement your own legacy. So there is no right or wrong answer. These are just opinions. If you feel as though Jordan is the best of all time, then by all means, Jordan is the best of all time. You feel like LeBron is the best of all time. LeBron is the best of all time. This is an opinionated thing. There is no right or wrong answer. It isn't. And the second thing that I want to leave you with is, why do you think that LeBron and Jordan gets mentioned more than Kobe versus Jordan? If we saying, because I hear a lot of people saying the closest thing to Jordan was Kobe, right? Which, honestly, I agree with. Same killer mentality. He wanted to win as bad as everything else. Even to the point where he frustrated people around him because of how hard he was pushing people. I've seen interviews where they went to the playoffs. Kobe had them so wrapped up in winning a title. After they won the round, he didn't care. He didn't care about the fact that he won a round. He went on interviews and said, the job's not done. The job's not done. What is there to be excited about? Yeah, we won a round, but don't we have to play somebody else? He had them so locked in, they couldn't even appreciate the fact that they won. And to be honest with you, that's something that, is kind of missing nowadays, because when you win, people are celebratory. Back then, Kobe had them saying, hell no, we ain't win nothing. We still got to play another round. Until that job is done, until we complete that mission, there's nothing to be excited about. There's nothing to be happy about. We got to stay locked in. That's a sign of greatness, bro. But why is it that Kobe don't get mentioned? Why does LeBron get mentioned instead of Kobe if Kobe is supposedly supposed to be the next biggest thing to Jordan? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about that, man. Let me know, because this is very interesting, and to be honest, I think that this will be a debate for quite some time. I think this will be an even more debate when LeBron retires, because once LeBron retires, we already know he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no question about that. But then we're going to be able to actually dissect his entire career versus Jordan's, and then we will be able to come up with a conclusion. But this is all just barbershop talk, you feel what I'm saying? Just another way to have a conversation, man. But let me know what you guys think in the video. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. I love you guys. 500 subs is on the way. I appreciate you guys. Give the video a thumbs up, and we out.